But shifting focus to India's coffee industry now, and India's coffee exports are brewing an interesting trend. While value-wise, exports surged by nearly 48% in the month of April to nearly $203 million, actual volumes have seen a dip in the corresponding period. According to Coffee Board data, export volumes in April stood at 35,300 tons, marking a 11% decline on a year-on-year basis. The pattern continues through the calendar year as well. Between January 1 and May 15, shipments saw a decline of about 13%, with Arabica exports rising but Robusta volumes shrinking. So what's really behind this volume-value divergence? Is it pricing strength, changing demand patterns, or a shift in coffee variety preference? To unpack this further, we are now joined by Dr. D.R. Babu Reddy, who is the Deputy Director Research at Coffee Board of India, now joining us. Mr. Reddy, thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us here on ET Now. And although coffee exports have risen in value terms in the month of April, led by surge in coffee prices globally, it has declined in terms of value. What is leading to the fall in volumes, and is higher prices really hurting global demand for coffee?
The coffee exports during the current year, if you look at exports are doing pretty well. And in the April month, we have seen the growth of about 38% in value terms, wherein we reached to 210 USD million compared to previous corresponding months of last years. And when you look at this export value rise, it's mainly driven by the coffee prices. The unit value of coffee exports have shown about 525 rupees per kg during this month when you compare with the 310 rupees over the corresponding period of last year. Where you can look at the jump of around 60% in terms of the value, that is the prices. But of course, as you stated, that the volumes have declined to certain extent. That means largely driven by the increase in prices, the current month exports. The volumes are mainly because the coffee harvest in India starts during mid of November for Arabica and ends by January. And and for Robusta, the harvest completes by March month. Therefore, the flow of stocks and the production to the market will start from the January onwards, which you can look at the flow of Arabica and Robustas to the market in terms of the high export volumes.
So that's as far as the export volumes are concerned. But Mr. Reddy, if we have to split the shipments basis the type of coffee, Arabica shipments witnessed a decline in the month gone by, but Robusta has also seen a decline. Help us understand what led to the divergence in the decline in shipments between the two varieties of coffee.
Most importantly, as the crop is available for release to the market, as the harvest is completed by January, therefore the more volumes of Arabicas could be seen in the export basket. And secondly, the other important factor is that increase in the prices of Arabica coffees, which we can see in the list, last 2 months also led to the release of more volumes of Arabicas to the market. When you compare with the price, yes, last year till December, the Arabica coffee price plantation, A grade, is around 425 rupees per kg. And the last 2 months, we can see that the jump is 725 to 750 rupees per kg. That is also one of the factors to release more volumes of Arabica coffee to the market.
Understood. And Mr. Reddy, what is the outlook going forward as far as exports of both these types of coffee are concerned for the next 6 to 8 months, and especially with the changing pricing pattern that we have seen? What's the outlook for the exports going forward?
Yes, coffee exports, when you look at last 5 years, have done extremely well. We can say that when we touched 1 billion in 2021, probably that is the highest that we thought. But year on year, we have seen a consistent and significant increase in exports. And last year, no, we reached to 1.8 billion. It is a remarkable growth. And of course, as you look at the current years, the current 2 months exports, an average of 200 USD million per month, definitely that may lead to, no, again, we may reach to even cross 2 billion. Really, that is an remarkable and commendable no, achievement for the coffee sector in India. And this is mainly because of the no, the whatever the prices that we look at in the international market, as the prices continues to be high, and especially for high premium and high quality Arabica coffees, no, where the prices were 60%, more than 60% higher than the December prices. And Robustas also has seen more than 30% of increase in prices. This higher price premium coffees of Indian high quality coffees definitely look forward that we may our exports continues to be grow for next to 6 to 8 months. And it is also predicted that the prices may stable for near future. Therefore, we can expect the prices may remain be at the same levels, or maybe no, with a little fluctuation with a high and low.
Okay, so coffee prices are expected to remain stable. And since we spoke about exports, let's delve deeper into that. If you can tell us region wise, which export markets are aiding demand for Indian coffee, and demand from which markets is on the slower side, which countries and which geographies are aiding and not aiding demand for Indian coffee?
When you look at no, our export market baskets, European Union is the major market where our no 55% of our exports goes to European Union, and of which Italy, Germany, Belgium, and then of course CIS and WANA regions are also biggest markets. In terms of the growth, when you look at no, there are newer markets, emerging markets, which are showing increasing consumption trends and demand. However, the traditional markets continues to have their export share. Probably we can look at the increasing share in this no, EU, and though EU no, when you look when you go downwards this year, the UDR compliance mechanism will also have any implication on the exports to EU. But WANA region is showing a promising growth, and West Asia is showing a promising growth in terms of the coffee exports from India. And downward, probably we can also see US, no, USA, where they have placed the reciprocal tariffs. We have to look at that how far those tariffs will have a negative impact on our exports, though US is the no, very small market for Indian coffee.
Okay, and we did talk about exports, and let's shift our focus back to prices then. You just mentioned prices of coffee are expected to remain stable. But for the rest of the year, if you can give us your guidance of where do you see coffee prices headed for the remaining of this financial year and for the next 2 or 3 years as well?
In terms of coffee prices, as no, the coffee prices mainly depend on international market fluctuations, where no, the fundamental factors of global supply and demand in terms of the global production, consumption, and stock movements, which plays a major role in determination of coffee prices. And of course, the non-fundamentals like currency variations, as no, the local currency against the dollar when the exports takes place, that also plays a major role. Yeah, when you look at the prices prediction for a longer term is very difficult, because how the weather plays in the major coffee producing countries like Brazil, Vietnam, Colombia, where they are the major suppliers, that will have a greater impact on the market movements. And as we could see presently, the Brazil's crop is not in a very good condition, as they were experienced the drought conditions in the recent years. That's where it had a bigger impact on the increase in prices. But how weather will have a weather is the most important factor in terms of the global production, especially in the major producing countries. Keeping that in mind, probably no for the next financial year, this financial year we can say that it may be stable, but next financial year we have to look at then, because when the prices are continuously be higher side, there will be a downward pressure as the market adjusts itself.
So we could see some downward pressure next year, but this year coffee prices are expected to remain stable. Mr. Reddy, thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us here on ET Now and helping us decode where coffee prices are headed for the next few years.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.